Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. Welcome to all those on Zoom to our wonderful service. I would like to start with this prayer. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for bringing us all together. As we come together, we open our hearts in gratitude for the space, for opportunity for friendship, and for our connection to Spirit. And with this, we say thank you. One thing I just want to remind those on Zoom to please mute yourself as usual. And so I would like to say thank you to Jennifer Shoals for being our awesome speaker today. And so I would like to say this also, the statement of intent, and I think it's on our card. We continue to be fortunate to have a variety of speakers for Sunday services. By using guest speakers, we gain wisdom from all those who share. This is a church community where we can worship the God of our own understanding, to experience joy and be uplifted, to gain strength and inspiration we can share with others throughout the week. We invite you to join us in the celebration of life, to nourish your spirit, and to enjoy the community of kindred souls. I'd like to play Let There Be Peace on Earth. And Mike, if you could come up and lead it, and I thank you.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment, peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you so much, Mike. That's beautiful. Let's see, we have some announcements. Sue, do you want to come up? Thank you, Sue.
All right. Good morning, everybody, and happy spring! Yay! Yay! It actually feels like spring in Duluth for once. And I wore my springy-ish thing I had today. That actually fits. Okay, sorry about that. I have to promote myself. One of the things I wanted to remind everyone is to please put your phones on mute or do not disturb during the service so we don't get interrupted. Okay, and also, speaking of, there's a suggestion box or comment box at the back of the church. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, people you want to see speaking, or whatever, either you can come to one of us on the board, or you can put your suggestion in the box if you want anonymity, or you can call us on the phone and leave a voicemail, or you can email us at our email address, and I'm going to get this right, Interfaith on 9th Street, and the 9 is the number 9th, Interfaith on 9th Street at gmail.com. You can also just come and talk to one of us if you've got any ideas. Our prayer intentions bowl, we have a bowl here for people who have prayers or ideas or people we want to pray for during our service. We hold it up here in our hearts as we go through our service and through our prayers. Who is speaking next week? It's Unity next week. Oh my gosh. Once a month, we will be having a Unity service. It is usually the last Sunday of the month. So next week, we will be having some kind of Unity presentation to be determined yet, and we will work on that. If you miss one of our services, or you want to look back on one that you've already been to or seen before, check us out on YouTube. We are on YouTube. It takes a few days to get it downloaded, but we are there, so you can always check us out there. If you have any questions or ideas or things you want to look at about us, check out our website, or we are on Facebook as well. So we have all kinds of ways to keep in touch with y'all. My sister-in-law's Texan accent's coming out there, y'all. All right, and thanks for coming and joining us at church today. We are having coffee before service and after service, and today, thank you to Marky Mark, we are going to be having soup and a little spread today. Salad and sandwiches too. Thank you, Mark. Yay. All right. The Unity Book group that we discuss a new book each time we go through a new book. We will be on hiatus again tonight, only because we're waiting for Paul Bergstrom to come back from California from his wonderful looking trip. Last week I saw he was in Sedona. Oh, what a great place, right? Okay. And donations. We are going to be working on some fundraisers. So make sure that if you are cleaning out your garage or your house or your spare bedroom or whatever, if you've got something that you're cleaning out and you think, oh, the church might benefit from that, put it aside, keep it for us. We're going to have, hopefully we're talking about a rummage sale and a book sale, or maybe combined as one. So keep those items on your list of things to save for us. And consider joining our summer gardening group. I know it's a couple weeks early, but we will be doing a gardening group, and we have always had lovely gardens around the church. So make sure that you keep in mind that if you have any desire to put your hands in dirt, which is supposed to be very spiritual for yourself, so get your hands dirty and come and join our summer group, gardening group. Also, if you want to make donations, back to donations, we do have a PayPal account if you want to be able to put money into our account for various reasons. So that you can look up or ask Andrew or Steve. They probably know the address. I don't. Now, the last thing on my agenda is, do we have any prayer requests today? The Ukraine, yeah, everybody is, let's all hold the Ukraine in our prayers and thoughts. Anything from YouTube? No? Or YouTube, Zoom? All right, well, if you do have a prayer request, you can simply put it mindfully into our bowl and we will pray for it over the service. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Could we take a moment and meditate and think about the world events and hold our prayers and our love for Ukraine and all these beautiful people? I'm going to close my eyes. We'll just do that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So I would like to say the principles today, and I'd like to use the unity principles. And they are, yes, they're somewhere around on your seats there. And God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. The Spirit of God lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. We create our life experiences through the way we are thinking. There is power and affirmative prayer, which we believe increases our awareness of God. Knowledge of these spiritual principles is not enough. We must live them, and I thank you. Okay, I'd like to invite Jennifer to come up, and thank you.
That's not what I had in mind. How's that? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? We're okay on Zoom? All right. Welcome, everyone, and welcome to those in the building and those on Zoom, and anyone who is watching the recording at a later date, because we are all joined together in this moment. May we experience ease, inspiration, and healing while we are together, and may our time resonate with the greatest good for all. Thank you for inviting me to your gathering today. Happy first day of spring. Woohoo! My name is Jennifer Shoals, and I live up the shore in Grand Marais. I've spoken here before and did a little writing class, and I have two books out. Grandmother Dreams, Conversations Across the Veil, and Traveling Light, Moving Our Awareness Beyond the Five Senses. A third book is on the way. You can find out more about the books. They're for sale downstairs, and you can read my weekly blog, send me a message through my website. I'll have some bookmarks downstairs if you're interested in that. These books are written in partnership with many spiritual teachers, and my conversations with them occur during an alert state of relaxation, which I call channeling. It's similar to meditation. I consider it a kind of spiritual communion, and I've been practicing it for over 20 years. These teachers have asked me to share our conversations. Through their messages, they are encouraging us to expand our consciousness, encouraging us to focus our energy on love, compassion, and spiritual connection. They're inviting us to see ourselves, both individually and collectively, as part of the living cosmos, as companions of the Creator. And I have accepted a directive from them to share these messages, and that's why I've written the books. I'm going to be reading from those messages today, and I just want to be clear that I'm not pushing any religious agenda at all. I am just sharing the information that has been shared with me as these teachers have asked me to do. As Mother Teresa said, I am a little pencil in the hand of a writing God who is sending a love letter to the world. In any writing, words are used as symbols, and the meaning of word symbols originate from distant history, from linguistics. And then we create emotional attachment to them with their ongoing use. The meaning of some words can vary widely over different circumstances, and the word God is one of those words. It's such a small word, really, 3 letters, but it is loaded with baggage. As a child, for example, we might have been taught that God is some bearded white guy sitting up on a cloud, and we claim that we have been made in God's image, when actually we have fed our own ego and made God in our image. Actually, we've made God in man's image, but that's a whole nother topic of conversation, right? So what does God actually look like? I'm reminded of the story of the kindergartner who's drawing away on a sheet of paper, and the teacher stops by and says, "Oh, what are you coloring today?" And the little student says, "Oh, I'm drawing God." And the teacher cautions, "Oh, sweetie, no one knows what God looks like." And the student answers, "They will in a minute." Culturally, we have allowed our egos to define God as some kind of person. And this human-like entity has been presented to us in many ways: as an all-knowing observer, as an uplifting protector or parent, a puppeteer who is in charge of every occurrence, every second of every day, and as a brutal punisher, ready to strike us down for our bad choices. For people who have been harmed by organized religion, God may be a very powerfully negative image. I have been asked many times why I use the word God in my books. There are so many alternatives. Why don't I choose some of those other words? But all of those other words have cultural and emotional attachments too. How would you choose? And in the end, they are all just words. My teachers use the word God in their messages. When I talk to them about my discomfort with that word, they encourage me to look at my own baggage. They reminded me that the discomfort is mine. It doesn't belong to the word. They prefer the word God and have asked me to use it because outside of formal religion, it is a term that immediately connects the Western mind with a deep spiritual reference. Let's take a step back and consider that there is a beautiful organization to our world. It's evident everywhere in nature. No two snowflakes are alike, for example, but the creation of each one follows an underlying energy pattern. The source of this pattern remains a deep mystery and creates a fountain of human questions. How did all this get put in motion? Where do we come from? Where do we go when we die? Why are we here? What is God? Organized religion attempts to provide some security by providing answers to these questions for us. But religions are human-made institutions, and they have human-made limits. They're constrained by their political structures, their collective history, the peer pressure of the group. Individual growth can and does occur within religion, and it also occurs outside of it. Either way, the development of spiritual identity beyond our ego requires a very broad perspective, because the energy of God exists in a much larger context. Its realm is nature, life force, timelessness, the universe. I'm going to be using the word God today, and when I say it, I'm referring to a vast collective of energy. Arikia, one of my teachers, has this to say: God is energy. As you know, God is not an entity or a personality. Those are human constructs. God is energy. It is the energy of one love, the movement of life force, the white light of pure radiance. It is beyond your capacity to comprehend in human form. Only when you are outside of human form can you truly join God. That does not mean that you cannot experience God while you are in human form. You can and you must. That is your purpose, to find God's pure love on earth, to use your physical form to move God energy through yourself and others. These are the connecting points, to become capable of embodying this love energy and moving it towards others. This energy movement is what is needed in the universe. One way to do this is through prayer. Unfortunately, prayer has become a passive concept. You may actively pray for healing, for world peace, for a new job,
But it ends there with the act of creating the prayer. Praying may be active, but then it is just given away. It disperses into the universe, passively awaiting the action of something called God to work on it. This is not the way it works. Prayer creates an energy which must then be tended. It is true that you cannot direct the exact outcome because this energy will come into contact with other energies along the way. Once you create it, it does not belong to you alone. This is why we have been talking about a sea change. Many humans need to be doing this kind of work in order for the energy to hum up, to harmonize into a greater good. This is why it is so important to transfer the energy to others. You cannot just sit on your cushion and pray for a better world and then hope it happens. You have to pray on your cushion to get yourself centered and energized. Then you have to take that out into the world and move it. Bring it along. Keep it active and moving. Taking, compassionate action because it creates larger harmonies. People can get all tangled up in compassionate action as a feather in their cap, a medal on their sleeve, a boost to their identity. But this kind of work is really about letting go of all these identities. Remember that the ego has to serve the spirit, not the other way around. So you use your physical form as the vehicle for moving spiritual energy. In order to do that, the physical form cannot be draining energy into itself, feeding the ego. Let your spiritual core open up. Let your spiritual core be the point where God energy moves to and from the universe. You cannot control this energy. You can only be a clear channel for its movement. The energy is God when it is moving. God is the movement of love energy. You must be a clear point, which is passive, and you must move energy, which is active. So you see, God is both passive and active. You can be God, and you can never be God. I'm going to be reading several of my teacher's messages today. And as you may have noticed, the information can feel kind of dense or concentrated. And that's because it comes from other energy planes. If you listen to the messages with your intellect, trying to figure out every single thing as it flows by, you're probably going to get tangled up and lose your place. So I'd like to suggest that you try to let go of that. Rather than listening with your head, try listening with your energy body instead, your presence, and let it wash over you. To help us along, I want to do a little exercise that moves our energy into being more centered and present. So begin by turning your face upward towards the sky, probably away from somebody who's nearby you, and take a slow, deep breath in. Form your mouth into the shape of an O and slowly release your breath out through your mouth. Interestingly, this is something that smokers practice many times a day, although it's paired with a toxic chemical. It's also a lot like the breathing that women do when they're having a baby, like that. It can work for anybody. So close your eyes and keep your face turned upward. Take a deep breath. Form your mouth into an O and slowly release your breath towards the sky. You can keep doing that. As you exhale, feel your energy moving down through your whole body. filling your torso, your legs, your feet, joining the earth. Feel yourself simultaneously connected with the earth and expanded into the space around you. When we are both centered and connected to the space around us, we can begin to feel connected to a bigger picture. The teacher Adzim Buuma came to me. She's a large, strong woman with dark skin and great physical presence. And she says, "You would like to fit everything together in a way that is easy to explain. The world is not put together in such a way. There are always things that do not fit into the story, and that is just the way it is. That is just the way it is. You cannot explain how you yourself fit into this story, because the story is much larger than any you can ever know. The story is not one told by humans with the rest of the world in it. The story is being told by the universe, and humans happen to be in it. You will travel well when you can take yourself away from the human-told story. Then you will be able to see small bits of the rest of the story. You will never see all of that story while you are in human form, just small bits. You can travel to other parts of the bigger story. The reason to make such a journey is not so that you can come back and report on this or that and fit it into the human story. No, the journey itself is what changes you. Like going to a foreign land, you can never fully grasp what that other world is because you do not come from there. You were not born into it. The best you can do is travel and bring back with you the change that has occurred in yourself. Apply it to the place you return to. This is the shift you are being asked to create. It is a change in your energy state that you will apply to the human story. The vibrations will be changed, and so the story will be changed. That is how spiritual evolution occurs. Let's let that settle a little bit before we move on. Let's breathe a few more O's. In an expanded view of the story, one being told by the universe, what does God look like? Are God and the universe the same? Universal wisdom, which is also called the collective unconscious, had this to say about God and the universe. They are not the same. There are some differences. It is time to understand some of these differences. It is not so important to define them, but understanding a framework will aid comprehension in the future. First, we will talk about what God is. God is a force, a form of energy. God is all of the energies of living combined. Not just humans, but all living combined. And not just the present, but all lifetimes and layers combined. God is very powerful in this way. God is all of the knowing and also all of the unknowing, all of the action and all of the action not taken. It is why what you choose to think and feel and do is so important. It all adds into the whole, which is God. It is constantly being formed. We want to focus on the relationship between God and the universe. The universe is everything. It is the living and the non-living, and more than that as well. There is so much that humans will never see because you are blinded by the dream of physical reality that you function in. This is not a problem. It is a gift because there is so much richness to the experiences you share with God when you are in physical form. It can be a problem when you forget that there is existence beyond the physical dream. The purpose of our work is to help people come back to the awareness of a world expanded beyond the physical dream. Not to discard the physical world, but to include it and move further into other realms across the veil. To develop the ability to cross the veil and come back. To share the wisdom gained and integrate it into the physical world. To impact the physical world with the wisdom gained from spiritual travel. When spiritual travel occurs, the energy that you travel with is God. The place that you travel is the universe. They are all interwoven, since God exists in the universe and the universe feeds God. Spiritual travel is not an intellectual process. It is readily available to those who are already intellectually inhibited. Animals, children, low IQ and other mentally challenged individuals. Adults who have been socialized to worship the intellect have a harder time grasping the skills of spiritual travel. They must learn to let go of intellect and develop other pathways in order to access the deeper functions of the mind. It is important to recognize the sensation of connectedness so that it becomes familiar, so that you can come back again and again and again. It is important to have a connecting place, something that tells you when you are there, a home to return to. As you spend more time connected to this home, it will become more and more obvious when you are not there. Being disconnected will be uncomfortable, and that is a good sign. So the Cliff Notes version of all that, God is the energy of spiritual travel. It is spiritual energy in motion. It is moving the energy that comes into us and looping it through the world. Turn your face up and blow a couple O's. I was recently gifted with a vision that brought all this together, and I would like to close by sharing that with you. Eagle Brother, also known as Migazid Nikan, is one of my teachers, and he came to me in a dream and said, "We need to go for a walk." He's dressed in a light cotton shirt because it is summer in our dream. The trees are leafy and green, forming a lacy canopy over us as we head down a wide trail in the woods. He is looking over his shoulder to make sure I'm coming along. We're on a narrow dirt track with a swath of tall green grass on each side, leading out to the trunks of great trees. This is a road that has been abandoned and is now a trail for 2- and 4-leggeds. I'm enthralled by the lushness of summer. It's winter in my world right now. The magnificent green, the sounds of the leaves rustling and the birds talking in the branches, the smell of fertile earth. Eagle Brother is walking ahead and greeting his plant and animal relations with joy and delight. So beautiful. What a gift this walking the earth is. He keeps looking back at me, sometimes mischievously, making eye contact, and then turning ahead again. My body feels warm and energized and vibrating with the earth. He has slowed down his pace, almost stopped. I feel myself come up behind and merge with his back, with the energy in his body. Then he is the eagle, and he is lifting up off the ground, spreading his wings wide. He lifts us onto the strong limb of a tree high up in the canopy. There I can see below, where we were walking, and also far into the distance. We are looking down a long ravine that leads to the big lake. We are resting on a strong branch, Migizinikan and I. It is as though I am riding on his back, but this is not my earth body, it's my essence, my spirit body that has joined to his. My curiosity about what is going to occur next is making me impatient, pushing me to jump ahead into the future. But there is only the now. Only our joined spirit bodies resting on a strong branch in the canopy of a tree in summer, with the land stretching out below us in all directions. Slowing down to this moment, I am more aware of the tree-covered hills rolling out before us. There are many animals and plants and insects and soil creatures living in the forest below. Life is abundant and rich. We, Mikizi Nikan and I, are but one of many. All of these levels of existence are present simultaneously, all interwoven and interdependent, animated by and sharing the same life force. Each creature makes its own buzz of energy, but all of the energies of all the creatures also makes a buzz, a collective vibration, a vibration that joins all of the vibrations on the planet. The planet's vibration joins the vibration of the universe. It is all one vibration, one harmonic, one emanation of the light, which is the source. It is not that each creature and planet and galaxy is creating its own vibration. It is that the vibrating of the light is coming from the source through every one of them. It is all an expression of the consciousness of the source. This is our purpose, to discover and tune into and allow this light to emanate from us, through us, to vibrate with the energy in a way that joins all the others, to create a great loop, a cycle of this energy coming from the source and through us and back to the source in a never-ending, never-beginning, constant loop, a wheel of energy, a circle. This turning of the circle, that is our purpose. That is the purpose of every living being. And everything is a living being. Every animal and plant and insect and soil creature and atom and molecule, every rock and mountain, every cloud and star and rainbow, it is all vibrating with the manifestation of the light. This is the moment of living, the embodiment of the vibration of the light. And now the greater light beings arrive and tell me this. What was there before the light? What is there beyond the light? Only light, the light of consciousness, of awareness without motion, which is the nothing, which is the darkness. It is something you can only understand as the circle turning in the opposite direction, of not unfolding but folding up, of not allowing but blocking, creating obstacles, making choices that reverse the direction of the light and cause it to be swallowed up into itself and extinguishes the vibrancy of life force, of light. You could say that this is what is being chosen now by the few who are making these decisions and also by the many who are complicit through dimmed consciousness and truth denial. They are referring to the current situation in Ukraine. I'll read that little part again. It is something you can only understand as the circle turning in the opposite direction, of not unfolding but folding up, of not allowing but blocking, creating obstacles, making choices that reverse the direction of the light and cause it to be swallowed up into itself. You could say that this is what is being chosen now by the few who are making these decisions and also by the many who are complicit through dimmed consciousness and truth denial. But look again and see the massive outpouring of the light in response to these choices, the coming together of souls reaching for compassion and unity and light. The light will prevail, even if the ones who are channeling it right now are destroyed. The light cannot be destroyed, only made over, reignited and renewed in other planes and situations. It cannot be eliminated, only transformed. The tide will turn. The suffering will be a catalyst for the new way, the next world. Let go of your earthly attachments. They will mean nothing in the next cycle, in the next season. Not that you should give up life easily. It is surely a gift. But let go of the attachments that hold this reality in place and allow the next transformation to emerge, also glorious in its own and different way. Be not afraid, for we are with you. We are traveling the journey within you, and we know the way. Open to this wisdom, open to this life, open to the shift, open, allow, be in this moment with presence and light. Be the power of the light moving and circling and transforming. That is all. Thank you. I was going to introduce here. Wait, okay. We're going to have a little song, and it's participatory if you like to do that. And he's going to, this is Zahir Orest, and do you want to talk about what you're going to do?
Yeah, actually, I feel very, very moved by the fact that everybody asked for a prayer for Ukraine. I am actually a Ukrainian refugee. So my parents came to this country when I was 5 years old, managed to escape from Ukraine, from Stalin. And most people don't know this, but probably the numbers are a little sketchy because it's all behind the Iron Curtain, but probably 8 to 10 million Ukrainians were killed by Stalin in what's called the Holodomor, or the Great Starvation, through the 30s into the 40s. And then sometimes it's called the Hidden Holocaust. So, because it was all behind the Iron Curtain, nobody knew anything about it. So, horrific events. And then after World War II, then of course, then you had Khrushchev come in, and likewise, members of my family that were left behind in Ukraine, would walk out their door of their house and be disappeared, and then their family be forced into starvation, no kind of social services or anything for them, So, and now, because of the internet, we're getting to watch a genocide unfolding in real time, from Putin. And I just remember the words of my mother, you know. One day she turned to me with tears in her eyes and she said, in Ukrainian, she said, "Bidni Ukrainci, bidni Ukrainci," poor Ukrainians, you know, or maybe pitiful, it's another word, maybe pitiful Ukrainians. They were always dominated by somebody, and these people just want to be free, you know. And there's a YouTube documentary, it's called Winter of Fire. So it shows just 8 years ago how the Ukrainians fought against Putin's influence in Ukraine, how much they fought for the democracy, throwing bricks and stones and, you know, against, you know, guns and weapons. Yeah, thank you for your prayers. And I was just noticing that, you know, a lot of Ukrainians, you know, the refugees are going out to the Lithuania and, you know, countries like that. They're also going to Istanbul. And, but not only them, but the Russian youth are leaving Russia right now. They can't stand living in that country either. So they're in Istanbul as well. And they're doing a lot of protesting in Istanbul. So I've traveled throughout Turkey quite a bit. And so I would like to offer a Sufi dance. So this one's going to be where everybody can dance together. The movements are not difficult. And also for those of you at home, you can also get up out of your chairs and dance along. It'll be really easy to do. I've managed to dance with Sufis and the whirling dervishes all throughout Turkey. And I've played music for whirling dervishes for, I don't know, 25, 30 years. So I have a strong affinity towards Turkey. So anyway, let me teach you this one. Here are the movements. I guess, is this going to work up here? So I'll teach you the words, but the words go, you know, they go along with movement, so it's easier to memorize the words this way. So, when our way seems dark and our sight's not clear, when our way seems hard, you know, like a plow, we do a plow movement, and stones lie in our path. Then we're going to turn to the right, so keep turning toward the light. We are turning toward the light, and then we're going to bring the light in towards ourselves, and we're going to turn to the left. Keep turning toward the light. We are turning toward the light. And then we'll just have free movement in turning, if you want to turn any way you want to. We'll do turning, turn, turn. We'll do that 4 times. Turning, turn, turn, turning, turn, turn. So let's do these movements again. When our way seems dark and our sight's not clear, when our way seems hard and stones lie in our path, keep turning toward the light. So you're radiating. Keep turning toward the light. Now you're receptive. Keep turning toward the light. We are turning toward the light. And then just free movement. Turning toward the light, turning toward the light. Any way you want to turn, so.
Do you want me to do the movements while you play?
Yeah, that would be great.
Should I be up here?
Let's see, I lost my guitar pick somewhere.
Here it is.
Thank you. When our way seems dark and our sight's not clear, when our way seems hard and stones lie in our path, keep turning toward the light. We are turning toward the light. Keep turning toward the light. We are turning toward the light. Free movement now. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. When our way seems dark and our sight's not clear, when our way seems hard and stones lie in our path, keep turning toward the light. seems dark, and our sight's not clear, when our way seems hard, and stones lie in our path, keep turning toward the light. We are turning toward the light. Keep turning toward the light. We are turning toward the light. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. Two more times. When our way seems dark and our sight's not clear, when our way seems hard and stones lie in our path, keep turning toward the light. Keep turning toward the light. Keep turning toward the light. We are turning toward the light. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. One more time. When our way seems dark and our sight's not clear, when our way seems hard and stones lie in our path, keep turning toward the light. We are turning toward the light. Keep turning toward the light. We are turning toward the light. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. Turning, turn, turn. You know, there's a word for peace in Ukrainian. It rhymes. It sounds similar to when you say frankincense and myrrh. You know, those incense. So myrrh. Roll the R a little bit more. Myrrh, and that's the word for peace in Ukrainian. So keep that on your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. Someone bring the baskets up, please, for our offering, and then we can sing in the silence. Mike, if you could come up. Sing in the silence.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence where every paved in gold and all your dreams unfold, love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is there.
Yes.
May everything that we give be given with an open heart, be given without attachment to reward or outcome, and be given for the greater good of the universe.
Thank you. Mike, would you like to come up and lead? It's for the beauty of the earth. I think it's 303 or something. I have to look. It's in your book. 305 in the book.
And that's 305 in the Wings of Song, or 15 in your spiritualist hymnal. For the beauty of the earth, for the glory of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the beauty of each hour, of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of ear and eye, for the heart and mind's delight, for the mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight. Lord of all, to you we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of human love, brother, sister, parent, child, love we praise all things above, gentle, peaceful, calm, and mild. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.
Thank you, Mike. Oh, gosh. I'm off. Okay. I would like to myself say thank you for your support in this beautiful offering with much, much gratitude. So I would like to say the church affirmation. We totally accept the belief that God is in charge of the affairs and direction of Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. We know that as our thoughts of trust and joyful anticipation join in the harmony with the thoughts of all the members of this fellowship, we attract the right ministerial leadership to our spiritual community, and we are grateful. Thank you. I would like to say the unity, I can find it here, ending, just because. The prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me, the love of God enfolds me, the power of God protects me, the presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Okay, let's just end with God be with you till we meet again. And Mike, if you could come up and sing that.
God be with you till we meet again. By his counsel's guide uphold you. On his love securely fold you. God be with you till we meet again. God be with you till we meet again. Neath his wings protecting hide you. Daily manna still provide you. God be with you till we meet again.
Well, everybody, please join us downstairs. We have the most awesome vegetarian or vegetable soup, thanks to our Marky Mark. And he made egg salad, so you have, and 2 loaves of bread he bought, so you can have your own egg salad sandwich, make it yourself, choose your own bread. I mean, it's just stuff downstairs. And I thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next week. And amen. Thank you, everybody. Okay.